Hi, my name is Paul Herbert. I'm the director of the 1st Division Museum at Cantigny Park, at the part of the Robert R. McCormick Foundation, and we are in the McCormick Research Center of the 1st Division Museum, where we're going to talk a little about a special donation we got a week or so ago. Our mission is to preserve the history of the 1st Infantry Division, and the 1st Infantry Division is still on active duty, so this donation is particularly valuable to us.
Tell us a little bit about this special donation that was recently added to your collections.
This is an incredible donation. Star Mortensen and her husband, Sergeant Heath Mortensen, and their little daughter, Ariana, traveled all the way from Colorado to here to donate what she created, a 7-volume history of the Combat Aviation Brigade. And it started off with this large binder and of her husband's first tour of duty in Iraq, of his time with Company A of the 601st ASB. And then it made such an impression on the rest of the soldiers that she created all these other unit histories for each battalion of the Combat Aviation Brigade, and culminating in this comprehensive unit history about the brigade itself with a great amount of detail.
That's great. Why did Star create these yearbooks for her husband, his battalion, and 5 sister battalions?
Well, I think it started off, there's a little bit of speculation here, okay? I think it started off with the original scrapbook in 2007 about her husband's company as a pastime for a spouse whose husband is deployed, and as a way in staying in touch with him and his unit. But she did such a tremendous job that when they deployed again in 2010, there were people who wanted her to do the same thing for other units, and it just grew into this project, as Eric, our research center director, has said, of 5 battalions and the overall brigade. But we asked her before she left, what made you do this? And she gave a really, I think, profound answer. She pointed at Ariana, who's just a sweetheart of a little girl, and she says, when my little girl grows up, I want her to know what her father did when he was away, and not just that he was gone when she was little. And I thought that was very touching.
I'm sure you and your staff are grateful for this generous gift. What compelled her to donate these yearbooks here?
Well, that is due to the very close relationship we have with the 1st Infantry Division, and they recommended that she donate these items of historical importance to us because we preserve and acquire the history of the 1st Division, and they are ready for use by researchers, scholars, and for the veterans themselves, who will come here and see themselves and tell their families about that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And, you know, Eric showed this book earlier, and just to give you one example, these are photographs and text that records the award of the Purple Heart to several aviation brigade soldiers who were wounded in action. And it's priceless. It gives us the date, it gives us the names, it gives us the award, it shows us pictures, it tells us who their commanders were. That's the kind of data that we want to have. But I think there's another dimension to this. People come here now and they learn about the World Wars. They learn about the colonel's service in the 1st Division in World War I. They learn about the Cold War, about Vietnam, about Desert Shield, Desert Storm. That history is always going to be important. And it's always going to be exhibited here. But in 25 years, these soldiers, this generation of soldiers, are going to be back here with their kids and their grandkids and their family members, and they're going to expect to see their service to our country reflected here. And I think that's what the Colonel would want. And so we are absolutely committed to collecting and preserving that history, interpreting it, and eventually, in appropriate ways, presenting it to the public.